Baby boomers report that they are not going to retire. They actually want.
Imagine working your entire life in your 40s, maybe even in your 50s, only to realize you can't even retire. Not because you don't want to, but because you simply can't afford to. This is the harsh reality for millions of baby boomers and Gen X. They did everything they were taught: go for work, stay loyal to companies, paid into social security, maybe even bought a house. But now, with a retirement on the doorstep, they're looking at their bank account and realizing the dream is gone. So I've put the stitches together so that you watch. Happy back to share my truth.
Baby boomers report that they are not going to retire. They actually want to go to work. They enjoy being there in a physical location, unlike others who would love to work remote. And that's why you're going to see it being more difficult for Gen X and millennials to move up within the organization, because you can't move up if baby boomers are at the top and they're not moving out.
I'm 59 and I do not have any money in retirement. I just recently sold my home and paid off almost all of my debt. So I was wondering what your advice would be. Instead of taking all of the money that I have and putting it into a home, I was thinking that maybe I should beef up an investment account.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I know that your steps say that's like borrowing money to invest.
Right.
But
okay. So how much debt do you have?
retirement.
How much debt do you currently have that you have not paid off?
Well, I have a lease that has 30 months remaining, and it's $400 a month.
Good Lord.
So,
okay.
but I just didn't think it would be wise to turn that over yet.
And do you have anything else?
In debt? No.
Okay.
I am cash flowing my daughter's college right now, and no other debt.
Okay. How much money do you have that is in your account today with the sale of your house after you paid off some of the debts?
Well, I have a total of 290. I put 10,000 in my emergency fund.
And what do you earn? What's your household income?
It's about $70,000 a year.
What kind of a business have you got?
I do small business bookkeeping for
good.
private individuals.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's fairly low impact, so you can do more of it and do it longer. That's a good news.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what price range was the home you sold?
It sold for $518,000.
Got it. And what city do you live in Florida?
I am just north of Palm Beach, Florida.
As in the Jupiter market, like that?
Just above Jupiter.
Okay. All right. I know where you are. Well,
I would like to stay in the $300,000 range for a home, and so I was thinking maybe invest $200 into the house and take a small mortgage for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's where we've got to get. Here's our ratios. Here's the 3 or 4 numbers that are the big numbers in your equation. Okay, by age 70 something. Okay, 15 years, 75. Okay, 15 years from now, we have to have a nest egg and a paid-for house. We currently have $290,000 to do that with, and we have $70,000 a year to do that with. Okay, and so that's you working to 75. Okay. If we, or to 72 or whatever. If we say 12 years, I don't care, but you've got $70,000 a year and $290,000 to accomplish that. Because if you do not have a paid-for house when you're through working, you're going to have a major problem, because it destabilizes your whole situation to have a mortgage when you are retired. You do not want to go into retirement with a mortgage. So we've got to clear the house. The second thing, then, every dollar we pay into this house obviously means we don't have it in a nest egg, and borrowing it doesn't fix that. Because we got to, if you borrowed on your house and say, okay, I'm gonna put $200 down, and I'm gonna have a $100,000 mortgage, well, then you still got to pay the $100,000 off, and that's still $100,000 that's not going into my retirement nest egg. So, what would I do if I woke up in your shoes? Okay, here's what I would do if I woke up in your shoes. I don't know what you'll do, but this is what I would do. I would buy a $200,000 house for cash, which in your area ain't much of a house. No. Okay? It's an okay house. It's certainly not a shack, but it's a pretty far step down from where you were living. I understand that when I'm saying this. I'm going somewhere with this. Don't quit on me till we finish talking, okay? So I would start there, and I'd pay off my car today. Find out what the early buyout on it is. It's probably around 12 grand, probably 11 grand, something like that. And find out what the buyout is and just pay the stupid thing off and own the car. Okay? Or sell it and get one that you pay cash for. I don't care. Spend $10,000 or $12,000 doing that. $20,000, whatever it takes. Let's get out of this car lease. No more payments. Now, we got 0 payments now in my little scenario, the world I just invented. Okay? And we've got $50,000 or so to start our investing process into good mutual funds. Then you load up a SEP, you load up a Roth IRA, and you do everything you can to increase the number of accounts you keep books for, and let's increase your income. And let's bust it for a few years. Now, if we can get you up to $500,000 in savings for your retirement in a few years, and you want to move up in-house and pay cash for the move up, that'll be okay. That means we've gotten past the danger zone. But you retiring with 0 money or close to 0 money and a nice paid-for house is not a plan.
Right.
And so I'm going to scale your house back to get the other stuff started, and then, in 5 years, when you see that this is working and you want to move up in-house again, move up to about a $400 and pay cash for it. And, I think you'll be able to do that later in this plan, but I want you to make sure we first have got the wolf away from the door.
Mm-hmm.
So I would live in that $200,000 house for 3 to 5 years while I got my nest egg roaring. And when it's roaring and it's going big, it's on fire, then I'm talking about saving up, paying cash, moving up in house a little bit, and we know we're going to be okay. I think you'll be okay if you do all of this and you live on a tight budget. But you have not done that to date. To date, you've not saved a dime in 59 years on the planet. So you got some proving to do to yourself, not to me, but to yourself, that you can do this. And you need to scale this house down with no house payment to enable that to happen. And you need to get on the every dollar budget.
I'm 70 years old. I have no retirement. My husband and I, neither one have a retirement. We are not in agreement about what we should do with the cash that we do have. We have $25,000 cash, no CDs, nothing. That's it. The question is, we owe $27,000 on our home, and the value of the home is about $250,000. We have $11,000 debt on a car. My husband wants to take the money that we have and pay off the car, and then he says apply the $350 a month car payment towards paying off the house. My problem is I'm so stressed. I at least want to have a house to live in. And the way I see things, I don't think I can live anywhere cheaper than where I live right now. I don't think I could even live in an apartment for what we would be paying a month on our home. So I need some help here.
What are you living on? What's your income?
We have $2,000 a month Social Security combined. I have some income that I get above that with a job that I have, but it's pretty physically challenging. I'm able to do it now, but, I don't know how long I'll be able to do that.
What do you make?
Probably another $2,000 a month on that.
Okay. Is your husband able to work?
He has a part-time job. It's kind of whenever the store owner needs him. And so he has occasional income, but nothing that we count on.
Is he able to work?
A little.
So he's got physical limitations?
Yes, he does.
Okay. He's got health problems?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's part of, our situation.
Yeah.
We've had large medical bills, and we've also made some real bad cash investments.
Mm-hmm. What do you do that makes you $2,000?
I clean homes.
It is physically demanding. Okay. It's good money, but it's physically demanding. Hey, how many cars do you have?
We have a paid off old, very dependable pickup, and then we have the one car that we have the outstanding debt on.
Mm-hmm.
We also have an old Roadster that's probably, I would say, about a $10,000 value on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but the Roadster is gone.
Okay.
You have not. I'm sure that's going to break his heart, but I'm sorry. It's gone, and then that gives us $10,000 to put towards the house, because the Roadster will sell for enough to pay off your car. We can leave $15,000 in your emergency fund, put $10,000 towards the house, and then that leaves you $17,000 to go. And you guys get in the business of the next 17 months or so getting that house paid off.
Okay.
Because with no debt at all, you can make it. It's not going to be pretty, but you can make it.
Right. We don't spend money. I mean, everybody spends money. It costs money to do anything, but the main thing we do is we eat out, and that's not a lot. We don't go to the food anymore.
But here's the thing. If you want to keep this house, you're going to have to start living like you're completely bankrupt. Because you got to clean this mess up. You do not have wiggle room here. That's where all this stress is coming from in your stomach and why you called me.
Yes.
So you can't eat out. You're broke. Eating out is causing you to clean toilets. In the future, you may be able to, but right now, you've got to get a Roadster sold, you got to get your car paid off, and you got to get your house paid off. And you got $25,000 in a Roadster to pull all this off, and a $2,000 income that's questionable because we don't know how much longer you can do this at 70 years old.
Right.
So we have got to get you clear of this debt before you start losing the ability to work like he has. Otherwise, you're going to end up selling this house and buying a condo for $100,000 and have a $100,000 slush fund to live on and have a life. Now, you can go ahead and do that now if you want.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
You got a $250,000 house, right?
Yes.
So if you sell it today, you're debt free. Take $100,000, buy a $100,000 condo, 2-bedroom, move yourself into it, and that's your retirement home. And that's how you're going to retire. And that enables you to not be stressed and not be worried. And you've got $100,000 to invest over there that'll make you a little bit of money. And, that's a much better mathematical equation, but I'm guessing that's going to cause an awful lot of emotional pain.
Well, and also, the HOA fees would be probably such as my...
No. You can live in a $100,000 condo in Oklahoma City.
That's a video, guys. I'm just here also to talk about this video. Baby boomers are the generation that grew up with the promises of pension, affordable housing, strong job markets in the American dream. But somewhere along the way, those promises started to crumble. Companies put back on pensions, housing prices going up, and wages stagnant, while inflation soared. Many boomers watched their parents retire comfortably, expecting the same for themselves. Instead, they are looking at raising rent, healthcare costs, and groceries seem to go up in prices every week. And they're asking themselves, how did it come to this? One of the biggest problems is that the financial world shifted beneath their feet. Retirement used to be about pensions. Now it's about 401ks in the IRAs. Basically, you are responsible for investing in your own future. But most of the people are not trained investors. Many boomers did not put enough, didn't know how or were hit hard by crashes like the Great Recessions. Those losses set a lot of them back by the decades or more, and some never recovered. What was supposed to be their caution turned into a thin black blanket that doesn't cover much. Then there's debt. You think debt is mostly a millennial problem, student loan and all that, but baby boomers are swimming in it too. Credit card debt, mortgage debt, car payment, even talking on student loan debt for their kids or grandkids. Men are still paying off mortgages they refinanced in their 50s or 60s just to get by. And let's not forget the medical bill or medical debt. Health insurance is in the USA is expensive, and many retirees don't realize how little Medicare actually cover until they're faced with the major bills. Another factor is caregiving. A lot of boomers become the sandwich generation, taking care of both their aging parents and their adult children. Some dipped into their saving to support family, some left the workforce early to provide care, and others delayed saving for retirement altogether. When you're constantly in a cycle of giving and caretaking, there is not much left for you on your own for the future. And now many of them are tired and broke. And let's talk about housing. While boomers may have bought their homes decades ago, uh, it has been going up. Property taxes, insurance costs, and maintenance bills have made it difficult for them to keep those homes. Some are house rich but cash poor. Others lost their homes during the housing crisis. Downsizing sound like a solution. But in today's market, even a smaller home can feel unaffordable, especially in cities where rent have gone through the roof. It's not that they didn't plan, it's that the economy changed in ways they never expected. And what even sad is how society responds to this crisis. We don't have system in place to support aging population who can't retire. Social security was never meant to be a full retirement income, but for many boomers, it's all they got. And it's not enough. A monthly check of 1,500 euros or dollars, or even $2,000 doesn't go far when rent alone eats up most of that. Add food, transportation, and medicine. It is not a surprise that many boomers are working well in their 70s, not because they want to stay active, but because they have no other choice. You see older adults bagging groceries, working in retail, driving Ubers, not for fun, but for survival. And these jobs are hard on aging bodies. Back pain, arthritis, problems, none of them matters to the system. They only value productivity. We hear people say they should have saved more, but the truth is, most of them, retirement was not good. Okay, they tried. Life just kept more expensive, and the safety net kept shrinking. Let's not forget how the job market treated older workers. Age discrimination is very real. One boomer lost jobs in their 50s or early 60s, maybe found it early impossible to get hired again at the same level. Some took big parts cuts just to stay employed. Others went years without work. That time they couldn't contribute to retirement accounts. That time they were just surviving, and the emotional toll of that can be devastating. The saddest part is that boomers feel ashamed. They were raised to be self reliant, to work hard, to not ask for help. So when they realize they can't retire, they blame themselves. They internalize the shame that this is not personal failure, it's a structural one. The cost of living outpaced wages, the safety net were pulled away, and not one warned them just how fast things could fall apart. And now here there are some sleeping in their cars, some choosing between medication and food, some are working until the body give out. Retirement for many has become a myth, a luxury, a distant dream that feels more like a cruel joke. The generation that once drove economical growth is now being left behind. What does this mean for the rest of us? It's a wake up call, because if this can happen to them, it can happen to any of us. Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, we are all watching this untold into real time. Unless we are charged or we change how we think about retirement savings, healthcare, and economical justice, we are going to be in the exactly same place always. We need to talk about solutions, affordable housing for seniors, better protection for retirement funds, strong age discrimination laws, and accessible financial education that start early. But most of all, we need to shift the narrative. Being broke at 65 is not a moral failure, it's a result of decades of broken system, and the people living through it deserve our companionship or non-judgmental. So next time you see an older person working a job that looks exactly exhausting, don't assume they're doing it to stay busy. Chances are they are doing it to survive. And if you don't want to start fixing the system, a whole lot of us are going to find themselves in the same situation, tired, overworked, and wondering what happened to the retirement we are promised. So that's the video. Bye.